Hey guys, so today I'm here for 7 on Sunday. I have always loved talking about tropes, and that's either like ones I love or ones I hate, but it's such a fun topic to talk about because it's such a good point of conversation for book lovers, and I love seeing everyone else's like favorite and least favorite, and it is just honestly a great topic. With my list though, because I did my top 5 Tuesday for like 4 years, I have a lot of topics that I have done and a lot of things that I've like already made videos for, so I'm pretty sure I made at least 4 videos where I talked about hated tropes, so I've taken from those videos to make a video now. So all of these you would have heard from before if you'd seen any of those videos, but I'm still glad to reiterate and actually had a chance to like really solidify this list of things that I just really don't like. But let's get into it, I'm so keen. Now the first one is the ultimate top trope that I really dislike, and it always shits me because it happens so often. So basically, you know, the couple's there, they finally get together and circumstances mean that one of them's here and one of them's there, and then they don't see each other for a whole book or until the conclusion of the whole series, and then they have their reunion where they get to see each other again and be like, oh my god, I love you. But I want to see them together and working through their shit and like becoming a couple, not just the start and the finish and you miss the middle. Like, this shits me so much. And I find that with multiple POV stories it's a little bit better because you're still seeing the characters with enough light, but they're just not together, but you see them like pining for each other and thinking of each other. It's also crazy when you get the near misses when they're in the same location but they don't cross paths and you're like, kill me now. It's way more annoying where the main character doesn't actually know if their love interest is dead or alive, and you're there and you're hoping to get hints and find them, and then they truly come back at the end and then you're like, holy shit, I'm so glad you're okay. But it kills me. Like, it's just one of those things that I just can't stand because I love love and I don't want them to be unhappy, but it's an angst point and it is a trope that is used very often. Like, it is a good trope, but I hate it. This next one is like got a little bit of explaining because it's a love triangle, but like love triangles are a thing that you kind of get used to. Like, they do suck, but it's something that happens within love triangles that really pisses me off because you'll have the love triangle, and this does happen more in like contemporaries, I feel, where, you know, the main character, they don't really know who they want to be with and they're trying to pick, and you kind of have an inkling of who they're going to choose, but a way that the author makes the decision for the character is have the one that they don't like cheat on the main character, so then they're like, well, you're an asshole, I'm going to be with this person. I hate it when the decision is made for them from outside forces. Like, I want the character to pick the one that she wants to be with without having them be like a bad person or do something bad. Like, pick the bad guy if you want to be with the bad guy, or be with the good guy. Like, and there's not necessarily a good and a bad guy, but I just hate it that cheating becomes the reason why you don't be with that person, not because of like you, and then the main character's not the bad person for having 2 guys pining over her. Like, does this make sense? Like, it annoys me so much, and like there's so many love triangles out there that are amazing and it doesn't happen, and then the character does have to make that ultimate decision. And I remember at the time when this trope really annoyed me, there was like books that it was really happening to a lot, but it hasn't happened to me for a while, but like, my god, it kills me. Next one is insta-love, because who does like this? Because insta-love is just a stupid plot point when you could just have like a slow burn, well thought out relationship, but no, they instantly fall in love with each other and it doesn't make sense. Like, instant attraction makes sense where you look at someone and you're like, oh, you know, they're good looking, like I think I'm attracted to you, I like you, and there can be a bit of lust there, but you can't just fall in love with someone after 2 seconds. And that's what I hate with books, when they take place over like a week, and at the first they're like, oh, I don't like this person, and by the end they're like, oh my god, I'm in love with you. Like, that actually shits me when they like rush hate to love, because like, you can't have hate to love when there is insta love in the relationship. Like, it needs development. Like, slow burn is really good too in like love to hate, because they can hate each other for like a whole book, and in the next book they can sort of start to understand each other and respect each other, and the next book they can like become friends, and then the next book like maybe some life and death stuff happens and then you can start falling in love. Like, this should be like a 5-book progression, and some hate to loves are done really, really well where you don't only need a book and it actually feels realistic. But I would love to have a great series and you'd be sitting there thinking, holy shit, get together. And TV shows do this great too, when it takes like a couple of seasons for it to happen, and then you're like, oh god, this was such a good burn here. But like, I hate it when it's like, you know, like you hate them and then you fall in love and it's insta love. Like, this is a whole branch of insta love here, but I just don't believe it, and it gets really annoying. I'm like getting so ranty, but I love talking about this. So the next one is clumsy characters, and I do understand that some people are just clumsy, but I hate it when clumsiness is used as a personality point, and it happens in Twilight, it happened in Again But Better. It just happens when they're just so useless. Also, a character that does it is Caleb, Trish's brother in Divergent, because he was hella clumsy, and I'm like, mate, like, yeah, so I do understand that clumsiness is a thing that happens, but when it's the description for the character and it's all that they are described as being and their personalities, oh, I fall over this, or I did this, like, it happens, and it's just really annoying. Like, I don't know why it's so annoying, but it really is. This one is a really personal one, but it's something that I've always had a hard trouble with, but I hate it when characters cut their hair, and I know this is one that probably everyone should know about already because I mention it frequently, but I don't know why I just get so sad, because like when people have such long beautiful hair and then they chop it all off or shave their heads or do anything, like if you're gonna do a shortcut, then that's fine, that's good, that looks great, I like that, but just that big change is like scary to me. Like when I first did the red, I had really long hair and I asked them to cut it to here, they cut it to here, and I could not wear my hair out for the first month. So like having the red hair was a very big change for me, and one that I was really excited about. And then I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because I hated my hair with the length, and like I hate it when it happens to, especially if they shave their head. And it's like also with characters, like they cut their hair for them, like they're having a battle or something and they like sweep in and cut it out, and they don't want that. Like if it's their decision, it makes more sense. But also like when they have to cut their hair to be in disguise, like I just feel so sad. It just hurts me, and I don't know why. And this is why it's a personal one, because it makes me really sad. Or the next one, miscommunication, and I don't even know if this would be a trope, but it happens all the time, where like the thing could be resolved with a simple conversation, and it just makes me so mad when you do it in a multiple POV where they're both mad at each other, or they're both sitting there like, oh, they would never love me, or oh, they don't love me, or like just talk to the person, have a conversation, figure out the shit. And also it happens too when you got a person and you're like, you need to tell them this, and then they don't tell them what they're meant to tell them, so that they assume the thing didn't happen, and you're just like, oh my god. Especially like if you're gonna have like a declaration of love and you like leave a letter and they don't get the letter, and then you're just like, oh come on, like it's just simple, like pick up the phone, send a text, talk to people, like try and get them and tell them the shit that they need to know. And it just, so many things could be resolved, like pretty much all the problems could be resolved if you're on the same page. Okay, and the last trope I want to talk about today is the tough girl, where it's kind of like clumsy characters, where being tough is your only personality trait, and you're the tough person. I'm so tough and I know how to fight, I'm such a tough girl, because we can't have petite small girls anymore, we have to have the tough girl, you know, like it's like fine. Like a lot of the time when you have people that are actually really good fighters, or if they're an assassin or like royalty and they know how to like handle weapons and do stuff, and they have other things to their characters, that is fine. But when their main plot point, and I feel like this does happen to like side characters where they're like the scary tough girl and that's all they do, and like they don't have feelings and they don't have emotions, like it needs to be expanded on more, so it's not the only thing that you describe about this person. Like they can be kick-ass, like I love kick-ass female characters, but the supposed tough girl is just not something I really appreciate when I'm reading, because I want more to them and then there never is any more to them. Oh my god, this was such a good ranty one. Like I am on edge now. Like I just love talking about this stuff, and I can't wait to see everyone's videos because I want to watch them and comment and talk about tropes that we don't like. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!